Okay, hi. This is part two. We're going to draw the same stuff, but instead of using line, we're going to use value. And we're going to also be using charcoal for the first time. And I'm going to try and get this set up so that you can maybe see most of what I'm drawing and see it a little bit more from my vantage point, over the shoulder, so to speak, or over the elbow. So this is vine charcoal. Comes in this. Got this big bag of Bob's Fine Vine charcoal, and some of these sticks are really big. I found that these tend to be a little bit harder, and they make a different sort of mark. I'll just test this out. What I have here is this Strathmore drawing paper, which hopefully I'll be able to get to those of you who haven't got it. It comes in this pad with this drawing of a woman on it. But hopefully I'll be able to get everybody a couple of sheets of this so that you can be able to use the process of trial and error and let one of your pages be the error. So I'm just laying a light layer of charcoal on here, and I always find it interesting that we end up getting this texture, which I think really comes from this board, but we could sort of test that here by saying, are we getting a similar texture here? I don't think so. I think there's these evenly spaced spots up here and not so much down here. In any case, you're trying to get enough charcoal on here that you kind of rub it around like that. So I'll kind of do a little bit more going to town on this and get this filled up. This is certainly one of those parts you could fast forward. Ooh, squeaky noise. So clearly it's fairly irregular around here, right? Smoothing it out with my hand evens it out. I also have paper towels, which are gonna enable me to spread that out even more. Now it's actually picking up quite a lot. But that's something you can figure out through experimentation. So it doesn't need to be super dark, but I want you to have enough on there to erase, because that's what this that drawing is. It's an erasure drawing. And what we're going to erase away are those holes that I was talking about, the negative shapes. And you will be able to add charcoal as you go. Let's see if the smaller stick. Yeah, you can see, I do think that smaller stick is less hard, is more soft. And it's going to give me better stuff to work with. Okay, so I've got more gray up here, less gray down here. I'll just throw it down there real quick. Now I'm going to start erasing into this to create these negative shapes. I'm going to try to start with the same thing that was sort of featured here, this kind of X across the middle. And again, you can see that up there. So I'm going to be erasing away the triangles around that pair of sticks. So where do I want to put that? I'm just going to start here. It's oriented so it's straight in front of me. And I'm going to go down here and create this shape. Now, I've also got a white plastic eraser here that, can be a faster way of carving that out. This is a stick eraser. This is an older kind of stick eraser that we used previously. So the top of that then is a similar sort of thing, comes down like that, bends up like that, over to there, up like that, up in here, then and from the top of this stick up through here. There's some leaves there that I think we'll want to keep in. So there's another big shape. There's going to be another one down here. And then another one down here. A little leaf down here. And then just like in the other drawing, I'm going to use the bottom edge of the table just sort of to decide where I'm going to cut it off. And so, yeah, I think you can see that pretty well. And again, the white plastic eraser is going to be good for taking out large chunks of this. One of the things that you can see here is that there are a lot of eraser crumbs. That's how you get rid of those. And now I can go in with this stick eraser and be much more specific and careful about this. Now the great part about this is that unlike the contour line, if you mess up, for example, the width of this branch is kind of variable, gets a little too thin there. I can always go back in here and undo what I did there by adding more charcoal. And then I can go in, take a look at how that branch moves a little bit better and reshape that negative shape. And then the top of that is a couple of interesting little things happening in it, but at this sort of middle section it becomes a thin thing again. So then over here we've got this part. And then up here we're back to needing to use this. So there we have something that you can't see. So I've got this space here that I've cut out. Again, it's the same as that kind of middle Wisconsin shape that I've got in the line drawing. But it's also got all these handprints and everything, so you make a mess as you go, but you can go back in and reestablish things. I mentioned the Wisconsin shape. It's kind of a little narrower at the bottom than I have it. But then you simply work from there, building out from there, and carve out these branches, and this one runs into some individual leaf forms. This goes up here. It's painstaking, but fun, and I could, go on like this all day, adding more of this stuff. This is just my palm print right here. This is more branch making by carving out the empty shapes, and as you develop it, it becomes clearer and more like the things on the wall. So this is a project that the idea of this is normally in class we spend 3 full class days working on this. So that's 6 hours, and along with time spent outside of class. That's a lot of time to spend on one drawing, and it's a sort of culmination of all of this thinking about edge and about shape and about being connected to observation. So I'm going to leave that here for now, and we can talk about this. If anybody has specific questions about this, please email me and I'll try to answer them.